Hello and welcome to the sport program on SBC, coming to you live from the national capital, Juba. My name is Majur Cholko. This week on our editions of the sport program on SBC, we take a look at the achievements and plan of South Sudan National Olympic Committee, and I'm profoundly honored and exceedingly humbled to say it. I'm joined right here in the studio by Ustaz Marjan Gismala Marjan, the Vice President of South Sudan National Olympic Committee, and Dr. Tong Chor Malik, Secretary General, South Sudan National Olympic Committee. My guest allowed me once again to say it. I'm profoundly honored and exceedingly humbled to have this opportunity to host you in the sport program on SBC. You're most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And before we look at our business of why you make it to the studio today, which is all about looking at the achievements and the plan for South Sudan National Olympic Committee, this is December, and the year 2020 is coming to an end. Before we look at the topic of discussions, your greetings to sport lovers in the country, the greeting for the end of the year.
شكرا جزيلا مقدم البرنامج. وفي نهاية السنة للكريسماس ونهاية السنة بالنسبة للمسيحيين في جنوب السودان، نهنيهم بهذه النهاية السنوية، ونتمنى إن شاء الله أن يكون يعني بداية سنة جديدة وسلام للجنوب وكده، لأن الرياضة جزء كبير جدا من السلام والمحبة، وجزء كبير جدا من الوحدة بتاعت أبناء جنوب السودان. وفي هذه الأيام الأخيرة دي احنا نتمنى أنه يكون الأمور ماشية والسلام ماشية بأجل هذه نهاية السنة، وشكرا جزيلا.
Thank you, Ustaz. Victor?
I wish to congratulate people of South Sudan and its particular family for this difficult time of 2020, where South Sudan and the whole world has been passing through difficult life, through difficult time of coronavirus, and we congratulate ourselves that we have passed this difficult time and we have reached the end of the year. So I have to say to all the sport family and people of South Sudan, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, and we wish to welcome New Year in good health and prosperity.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure having you, and to the viewers, thank you so much for joining us. This is the sport program. We are going to talk about the achievements and the plan of South Sudan National Olympic Committee. Before we look deeply about the achievements and the plan for the year 2021 of the South Sudan National Olympic Committee, let me ask Ustaz Marjan Gismala, who is the Vice President of South Sudan National Olympic Committee. People outside there, maybe there are some people who don't have clue about the role of South Sudan National Olympic Committee. What is the role of South Sudan National Olympic Committee?
شكرا جزيلا سيد مقدم البرنامج. الحقيقة أن إحنا كدولة جديدة في مجال الأولمبياد كجنوب السودان، لأن إحنا كنا زمان في السودان الموحد، والحمد لله إحنا قدرنا نكون اللجنة الأولمبية لجنوب السودان، ويعترف بها كل العالم بأنه جنوب السودان بقى دولة عضو في مجال الرياضة وفي الأولمبياد. وأنا أعتقد أنه هذه كانت مقدمة أولى. إذا كان إحنا ما دخلنا كلجنة أولمبية ومعترفين بنا، ما هنقدر نعمل أي حاجة بالنسبة أو الاشتراك في الدورات الأولمبية. والآن نحن واجهنا مشاكل، لكن قدرنا بخبراتنا والناس الموجودين في اللجنة الأولمبية أنه يبتدوا بداية كويسة، ونحن ماشيين كويسين جدا. بس معليش الإمكانيات بعض المرات بتلعب دور كبير جدا، والمرض اللي جانا كمان في الأيام الأخيرة دي هو وقفتنا. ونحن لغاية الآن أنا بعتبر أنه ناسنا اللي بدوا هسه ولو هم عدد بسيط، نحن نتمنى أنه يقوم بعمل كويس جدا. شكرا.
Thank you.
Yes.
So you can break it down.
Yes. Yes. In fact, South Sudan National Olympic Committee, as he said, has been registered and recognized in the International Olympic Committee in 2015. Now, to be a member of the International Olympic Committee, we have a role to play within the country to prepare all the teams to play Olympic Games, football, basketball, volleyball, taekwondo, judo, table tennis, boxing, karate. We are preparing them all to participate in Olympic Games. So our role mainly is to see identified athletes, youngest athletes in the national federations, prepare them, train them, the coaches, the administrators, so that we can go into international or regional arena and we can reach podium. And we hope very soon South Sudan will be seen in the podium in terms of people winning prizes, especially in athletics, in boxing, in weightlifting. We have very good potential to win the prizes in the near future. So this is our role.
Thank you for giving the overview of the role of South Sudan National Olympic Committee. And I can start with you once again, then go to our stars. Looking at the year 2020, we understand that globally it is the year of coronavirus pandemic, which is not only affecting South Sudanese, but globally is affecting people globally. But as South Sudan National Olympic Committee, apart from coronavirus pandemic, has global problems, what have been your achievement that you achieved in this year 2020 that you can let the sport lovers know outside there?
Well, as you said, coronavirus has let down every activities in all over the world. Our activities has been slowed down, yet we have been pursuing our athletes to train and to participate in other activities. Last year, 2019, August, we participated in All African Games. And that was a benchmark for Tokyo 2020, which was supposed to be this year. And we prepare our athletes. 4 athletes now are in Tokyo, in Japan, in a city called Mambashi. We have 3 male and 1 female being trained there. As long as Tokyo 2020 has been deferred to 2021, we are continuing training those people, those athletes, to gain more experience, to gain more experience is the appeal. Now we can say this is one of the achievements, to have some people who are going to participate. The other achievement is that we are going to have more participants in the next Olympic Games. In the first Olympic Games 2016, South Sudan participated with 3 athletes. Now we are aiming at least to participate with 6 athletes, if not 8 athletes. And these people are preferred. So we have some team now prefer to go and compete for boxing. There are those who are going to compete for taekwondo. There are those going to compete for Tokyo. So all athletes are now preferred, and we think this is an achievement for this one. The other one, for infrastructure, you can see Olympic comprising all the other federations. You can see basketball, you can see football, they are doing some field. National Olympic Committee has achieved now 2 plots. 1 plot in Kondokro, we have 1 kilometer time, 1 kilometer, which is going to construct what we call Olympic Village, which comprise all the sport activities will be there. In addition to that,
when is it going to happen?
Next year, 2021, we are going to, in this summer, we are going to start the foundation.
Okay.
Which we
maybe I will come back to you to add more achievements. And Ustaz, maybe you can also add some achievements of South Sudan National Olympic Committee. If you want to mention what he has mentioned, you can mention in Arabic for the sake of our viewers who do understand Arabic better.
شكرا جزيلا مقدم البرنامج. الحقيقة بدايتنا يعني للاستعداد للدورات الرياضية لازم يكون عندنا ميادين، وهذه الميادين واحد من الأشياء نحن قدرنا نلقى أرض زي ما قال الأستاذ، ووجدنا برضو أرض ثاني بالنسبة حيكون لنا برضو في داخل جوبا، وأراضي ثانية يعني احنا ممكن نقوم عليها، لأنه إذا كان ما فيش ملاعب رياضية في كل الأحياء ما حيكون الناس كلهم يقدر ينافسوا. أنا بخبرتي الماضية عملت يعني ريسيرش بالنسبة للقبائل في جنوب السودان، وأنا نعتبر أنه جنوب السودان فيه ناس ممكن يكونوا أبطال العالم، لأنه كل أنت بتلقى في ناس بتاعت ألعاب القوة موجودين، في ناس بتاع السلة بالطول موجودين، في ناس بتاع طايره، في ناس بتاع بوكسينج، ودول كانوا كلهم ممثلوا منهم، كانوا يمثلوا السودان القديم. نرجع برضو ان احنا كمان كافارقه لنا القدره بتاعتنا ان احنا قدرنا نخلي امريكا تكون لها السمعه والقدره انه يكون يعني في مجالات مختلفه بالنسبه للرياضه. فنحن عندنا فرصه الان، لولا انه المشاكل مثلا اللي حصلت مثلا اخرت لنا يعني العمل بتاعنا الرياضي في جنوب السودان، كان حسيكون عندنا ابطال كبار جدا. عندنا الآن أبطال في السلة موجودين في أمريكا بأعداد كبيرة جدا، ودين ممكن الليلة كانوا هم الليلة يكونوا عندنا هنا، ويقدر يعني أن احنا نقول باطمئنان أنه الناس دي حيجيبوا لنا فوائد. وبالنسبة للناس بتاع العقوب برضه زي ما قالوا لنا الأستاذ، عندنا ناس هسه هذه بيتمرنوا هناك في طوكيو عشان ما يستعدوا للدورة الأولمبية الجاية. شكرا.
Maybe I cut you short, Dr. Tong, giving your achievement. In case if there's something still, you can continue.
Well, he's mentioned is in Arabic. He was talking also in Arabic. We have some plots inside the town which we want to construct Olympic headquarters, or what we call Olympic House. And this Olympic House will comprise all the Olympic Federation will be under that house. You get the football is empire. They have their own complex, but you get the other federation, they will be under that umbrella. They will have, at least they will have some offices with that in that one. Other achievement is that all the states, the various states, there is some letters sent to the various states to have a certain number of field to be constructed by that state. A number of field in football, in basketball, in volleyball, in taekwondo. This one they have, and then there will be checklists. From time to time.
Is this going to cover the 10 states
the
of
10
South
state,
Sudan,
the 10
and
state,
3 administrative
the 10 state and the 3 administrative? There is certain, according to the populations, according to the schools they have, we have a number of web statistics. They should have number of field, they should have that one. And the governor and the commissioners, they should have to see to it that this field have been constructed that one. And then they will be checked by the National Minister of Sport, and then will be supervised, will be seen by the cluster, the vice president for sport and gender cluster, Mama Rebecca Nyande. They will be there. So the copies are here now to be delivered to the office of the vice president, so that they can oversee states and from time to time. So we think that this is an achievement. This one will give a chance to all the youth to have a plenty of field and to have a variety of choice. Because we don't want everybody to play football, we don't want everybody to play basketball. Everybody has to have a choice. Want to play taekwondo, want to play table tennis, want to play basketball, they have different choice. Because of the availability of the field will force them to be in one field. If we don't have a football field, we have basketball field, then everybody will be basketballer. We don't want that one, because the talents come according to what they desire and what they see.
Okay, if we look at the achievement that South Sudan's Olympic Committee have achieved in the year 2020, what did you do to make you achieve this achievement? Meaning, is it through your own support, or were there some other stakeholders who joined hand with you as South Sudan National Olympic Committee to contribute into this achievement?
It's stakeholders and the people of South Sudan, the love they have to the sport. You have so many people, even in the government. If you go to the Council of Ministers, if you just take Council of Ministers, you get so many ministers. They are sport people who have been playing sport. If you take the Minister of Presidential Affairs, Nyal Deng Nyal was a basketballer. If you go to Martin Iliad Namoro, was a footballer. If you go to mention, most of them are sport people. So it is very easy for them to support our program. If you come to the Ministry of Education, if you come to the Ministry of Youth and Sport, you go to everybody, they love sport. So we got good partners and good stakeholders surrounding. Wherever we go, we get our doors are open. Depend on the activities we are doing. Any door we knock, they are open for us.
Thank you, Dr. Tong and Augustus. And to the viewers of SBC, thank you so much for joining us. This is the sport programs coming to you live from South Sudan capital, Juba, on your own national television, SBC. I'm joined right here in the studio by Dr. Tong Chor Malik, Secretary General, South Sudan National Olympic Committee, and Ustaz Marjan Gizmala Marjan, Vice President of South Sudan National Olympic Committee. We are talking about the achievement and plan for South Sudan National Olympic Committee. Let's have a break and we'll be right back shortly. Welcome back, dear viewers of SLBC. You're still following the sport programs, and to my guests in the studio, welcome back. And let me come to Ustaz Marjan Gizmala, and as we are talking about the achievement and the plan, you have mentioned a lot that you have achieved in this year 2021. Let's look at your plans as South Sudan National Olympic Committee. What are your plans about maybe what you have not achieved this year and you want to achieve next year, and what you have not done to the sport lovers, the footballers, the skate, those who play basketball, those who play tennis, volleyball, to mention a few. What are your plans for South Sudan?
شكرا جزيلا. الحقيقة يعني إذا أنا رجعت من السبعينات، أنا كنت مدير المناشط التربوية Director of School Activities in that time. الحقيقة قمت أول شيء عملت ميادين في كل المدارس في جنوب السودان. الشيء الثاني يعني قدرنا نأهل الناس يمشي يدرسوا يكونوا يعني ريفريز أو ترينرز. This is very important. فلذلك يعني احنا الوقت ذاك جنوب السودان من كان بمشي بمثل الجنوب في الخرطوم، اننا كنا بنشيل كل الكؤوس، لانه هنا يعني كنا يعني مدربين نفسنا التدريب كويس جدا، وعندنا ناس مؤهلات، وعندنا ملاعب، وعندنا كل الناس اللي بيدربوا في الرياضه. لذلك انا داير الان نرجع لزمان، لانه في فتره اللي عملناه انتهى بمرور الزمن، لانه انت عارف الظروف بتاع الجنوب كان في الفتره دي بتاع الحرب وكده. الان الجنوب حيقوم تاني من جديد، حيكون عندنا ملاعب، حيكون عندنا مدربين، عندنا حكام للالعاب، حيكون عندنا لاعبين يتدربوا برا وداخل الجنوب السوداني. فلذلك احنا يعني حيكون عندنا في مناطق من اختار بعدين لجنوب السودان. الجنوب ده فيه مناطق كثيره جدا وفيها مؤهلين انه يكونوا رياضيين ومثلوا البلد في جنوب السودان. لانه انا من اتكلم كده بتكلم انا بديت كلاعب وانا كنت صغير لغايه ما بقيت لغايه ما وصلت الدوره الاولمبيه يعني، ودرست الرياضه كمان. خريج كليه الرياضه وعملت يعني ماستر في الرياضه، ومشيت في المانيا برضه وقريت عملت تدريبات وعملت رياضات ثانيه. فلذلك انا بقول في نفسي انه جنوب السودان ده حيكون بعدين في افريقيا من احسن المناطق فيها الرياضيين، سواء كان في اثليتكس، اذا كان في فوتبول، اذا كان في باسكتبول، فولي بول، بوكسينج، كله موجود. فيعني انا مطمئن، لانه ما ممكن في يوم وليله انت تقول خلاص انا ممكن اكون كبير زي جنا صغير. انت قام صغير شوي شوي لغايه هيجي وقت اللي هو بقى قوي خلاص. احنا فعلا الفتره بتاعتنا بسيط جدا، لانه هنا يعني نيو بورن كانتري. فنيو بورن كانتري داير تقويه كويس. فنحن مطمئنين في السنين الجايه ده. يعني حتى اذا احنا هسه ماشيين كويسين، لكن السنين الجايه العدد حيكون اكثر. العدد اللي عندنا هسه هذه المؤهلين يكون شويه، لكن المره الجايه ده هيكون اكثر. احنا هنقدر نعمل بطولات في داخل الجنوب، نجيبه من افريقيا، نجيبه من وين، لانه اذا كان انت ما عندك ملاعب ما في زول بيجيك. لكن حسن ان شاء الله زي ما قال قبل دكتور توم ان احنا ادونا ده ميل في ميل في سكوير ميل في كندوكرو، وادونا هنا برضه هنا في داخل جوبا محل هيكون فوق برضه في ملاعب، وهيكون فيه اسمه ده، ونعمل ملاعب في كل المناطق في ال 10 states.
Okay, Ustaz, let me ask you this question. You mentioned a lot. In Tagulta, you went even to the school and you learned about the sport.
No.
Yeah?
Yes.
Now you are also teaching people about the sport.
Yes.
I want to ask you this question. Finna stani bishop zay al yal bela kura minkin yal del mahindu haja homon begder hamul fi ayabi tamon. What can you say to people outside there who discourage the sportmen and the sport women who take part in the sport activities? And if there is an opportunity for South Sudan Olympic Committee maybe to open an academia for people who maybe drop out from the school but they have a talent to play football, to play basketball, to play volleyball, for people like you and other people who went to school and study all about the sport to come and teach them.
شكرا جزيلا. الحقيقة يعني ده سؤال كويس جدا. قبل أنا ما دخلت اتكلمت عن النساء، لكن أنا بعتبرهم كل جزء من اللاعبين. أنا كزول مثلا متخصص في الرياضة، لذلك أنا في الحوار الوطني أنا قدمت يعني أنه في التخصصات الجاية ده أنه الحكومات الجاية يهتموا بالرياضة أكثر من أي شيء، لأنه ما في اهتمام بالرياضة. في ناس بيفتكروا أنه الرياضة ده لعب ساكت. Why we pay money for playing؟ في ناس بيفتكروا كده، في ناس دايرين يعملوا حاجة، لكن ده أساس للبنية بتاعتنا، ده أساس بالاقتصاد بتاعنا، ده أساس بالصحة بتاعنا. إذا كان أنت رياضي أنت عندك صحة كويس، ما بنجيب دواء تاني من برا أو نجيب ناس وديهم برا عشان ما يمشي يتعالجوا، ده كله اسمه. لكن الآن زي أنت ما قلت أن إحنا لازم يكون عندنا كلية بتاع الرياضة في جامعة من الجامعات هنا، عشان كل من يتخرجوا يكون في كل مدرسة في كل جامعة في أستاذ بتاع الرياضة بيعلم الطلبة. ده واحد من الأشياء المهمة جدا. أن إحنا في اللجنة الأولمبية أن إحنا بنشوف أنه عندنا هيكون عندنا أكاديمية. الأكاديمية ده هو بيكون مهتمة بالتدريب المدربين المدربين في كل المجالات بتاع الرياضة والريفريز، عشان احنا ما ممكن نجيب زول من برا او مثلا واحد ما يعرف حاجه يجي يعمل فيه يعمل لنا مشاكل ذاك في بتاعنا. فاحنا هسه زمان ايزاك ايلي الله يرحمه كان بيشيل كور في ظهره وبمر في الحله، كل اللي بقى اولاد قاعدين يلعبوا بديهم كل زول يرموا لهم كوره، وما كان لهم ملاعب. احنا كان عندنا ملاعب كثيره. حسب في ميدان في واو اسمه ميدان ايزاك، وانا من اشتغلت في واو هناك هنا طلعنا ناس واو طبعا بقى يعملوا شنو ماسكين، كانوا الرياضيين كويسين حتى بقى بيقولوا واو نار، لكن واو نار عشان هو النار بتاع اسمه واو، لانهم في الرياضه كانوا كويسين جدا. فلذلك احنا يعني الدور بتاعنا احنا كلجنه علميه فوق.
Okay.
I
want to come in for this one. I want to come in.
Yeah, you come in.
Your question was that for those drop out, and I want to be having a country answer to that. Sport even is not for drop out. Sport is something going concurrently with the education. If you go to the school, you get teachers teaching academic subjects, and there are teachers for physical education. They go together. Those who are good in education, they will be also good in sport, and they will be supported. Well, there are those who want to say that no, I want to pursue my education. I want to go and just play this type of sport around me. But sometimes we fear this when they go and they finish their career. What will be their fate? What will be their fate? Because if they don't have skill, they don't have education. You play football, you play basketball, up to certain age, 34, 35, 40. What will be after 40? You have to have education. So what we are doing, we are encouraging students to study and to play sport. They go concurrently, and then they get the skill. Two, I want to come in because of the people were not understanding what is sport is. They think as if it is joke, as you were saying in Arabic. It's not a joke. Even it's for health. It's for, there are so many. بالعربي بيقول الجسم السليم
العقل السليم
في الجسم السليم. This means that if you are not fit physically, then mentally you cannot be sounded. So you have to have your physical exercise, you have to have that one. So what we are saying that we don't want to encourage those, they can be dropped out so that they go and play sport. No. We want them to pursue the education, play the sport together. وعشان كده في المدارس عندنا الدورة المدرسية inter school competitions. It comes through the schools, and through those one, the talents come there. In the school, you get the good singers, you get the good actors, you get the good sport. They come from the school. What we are lacking in South Sudan because of the war in South Sudan, internal conflict, we have not been pursuing this kind of inter-school activities. So what we need, we are praying that we need this peace. We need this peace to continue so that we can go down and identify more athletes, so that we can have good place to train athletes, like our athletes, those of long distance runners. We have a very nice field in Eastern Equatoria. If you go to Upper Tlanga, it's the same environment like the environment in Kenya or in Ethiopia. People in East Africa, in Eastern Equatoria, they can compete, those of Ethiopia and those of Kenya and those of Uganda, but we don't have peace.
Maybe you can add some plan for the year 2021.
Well, this is what we are saying. We are starting in 2021. We are going to have in February. We are going to have a strategic plan, 4-year strategic plan. We have been having a strategic plan from 2017 to 2020. These 4 now expire. 2021 to 2024, we are going to have another strategic plan, which will call all the federations and all stakeholders. They will come and we have a 2-3 days planning workshop, and then we'll including the number of the fields, as I'm saying, in the state, the way athletes identified, the internal camps, the external camps, all these things will be comprised and will be distributed to the stakeholders. Then we take one by one. And all the stakeholders, we need them to come in, take portion of what you can do in that strategic plan.
Okay. Thank you so much, dear viewers. You are still following the sport programs on SABC, coming to you live from the national capital, Juba. My guests are Ustaz Marjan Gismala Marjan, Vice President, South Sudan National Olympic Committee, and Dr. Tong Chor Malek, Secretary General, South Sudan National Olympic Committee. We are talking about the achievement and plan for South Sudan National Olympic Committee. And due to time, let me come back to my guest right here. And your achievement that you have mentioned and the plan that you have mentioned, looking at the achievement that you have mentioned, I believe there were a lot of challenges that you have faced. And that challenges, what will you do to make sure the challenges you have experienced in 2020, you will not experience them again in 2021?
It's a difficult question, because in 2020 and 2019 we have faced a lot of challenges, especially financial challenges. And I have to say this thing publicly. Olympic Committee, up to now, we have no budget in the Ministry of Youth and Sport. We have been supported once when we went to Rio de Janeiro as Olympic Committee, and maybe also I have to mention also Congo Brazzaville. Then after that, nothing happened. We get support from what they call Olympic Solidarity, which give us some office operation activities. And one of the disadvantages, one of the challenges happened 2019 is South Sudan to participate in Congo in All African Games in Morocco, which was attended by the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport by then, the Under Secretary, the chair of the Sport Committee in the Assembly, the SSTV, I can mention, some of your colleagues, they were there with us, they were there. We went empty-handed. The budget did not come out from finance. We tried to borrow some tickets from Egypt Air because of my relation with Egypt Air. We got tickets. We went there on loan basis, hoping that there will be finance. And the reason is that we would have declined not to go because of no budget. We should not go. But the problem, All African Games is the benchmark toward Tokyo 2020. If you don't participate in All African Games, you don't have ticket to go to Olympic Games. So we have to go. Even if we are going to fail, we don't qualify to go to Tokyo, we will be given a chance, what they call universalities. When a country fail, nobody qualify, they can pick one lady and one man to represent the country. But if nobody win or nobody put the stuff there, they cannot go. We in the Olympic Committee, as we know the challenge and what are the consequences, we have to borrow tickets, we have to go there, and we win there. The Olympic Village, you have to pay a fees for your athletes. This is the country participation. You have to pay also fees, you have to pay everything. Also on loan basis, we borrow money. Some of your guys who are also participating here today in the studio, we accommodated them in a hotel outside because they cannot go to the village, paying some money to them. As I'm speaking up to now, this money has not been refunded until some cases has been opened against us. Even some athletes win against us, assuming that Tong is the one responsible for this payment, has been given the money from central bank, from finance, and he has not used the money.
Okay.
These are the challenge. So next year in 2021, we are going to Tokyo. And the challenge starts also from January. From January, we have to pay all dues. The money for the athletes, the money for the dignitaries, for the administrators, for the coaches. The rooms have to be booked from now. Accreditation has to start earlier. You don't do that one, next time you go to March, the prices of the rooms get up higher. You come and pay in May, they get higher. The tickets of the delegates, now the tickets are cheap. Some country, as I'm speaking now, and I'm taking Cairo, Egypt as the example, because we are in communication with Ethiopia, Kenya. Now they got their budget for Tokyo 2020, July next year.
So your what here, sorry to cut you, your what here, the way you speak, someone who is watching at house will say it, Dr. Tong Chor Malek needs South Sudan Olympic Committee to be supported. Whom do you think should support?
Government. It's a government, because the athletes are going to represent South Sudan, not NGO. It is government of South Sudan. If the government is going to ask some NGO to come and support, that is the work of government. But it's the government. We are going to, the athletes are going to carry the flag of South Sudan. If they are going to play, they are going to play national anthem of South Sudan. If they go to podium, the flag of South Sudan is going to be raised. They are going to present South Sudan. So the one to pay the due for the athletes and for the team is the government of South Sudan.
Thank you so much. Because of time, let me come to Ustaz. Maybe you can mention, you add some things in Arabic for the benefit of our viewers in Arabic, and then we will come to maybe finalize our show.
شكرا جزيلا. الحقيقة الكلام اللي قاله الأخ الأستاذ دكتور تونغ دي حقيقة. لا يمكن أنت داير تربي، يعني أنا أفتكر أنك أنت جنس صغير. أنت داير عشان يكون كبير وقوي. إذا كان أنت أهملته وهو صغير ما هيكون إنسان. الرياضة برضو كده. إن الرياضة داير أنه اللاعب ده من ما هو صغير كيف أنك يعني تأكله كويس، تشربه كويس، تلبسه كويس، تعالجه، ها؟ ده كله أساس، وتدربه تمام. أنا ما ممكن نمسكك نقول أجري 20 مرة 30 مرة ألعب كورة كم ساعة وما عندك حاجة تعوض به جسمك. أكل كويس تأكله بيه. ده يخليك انك ظهرك ما هتجيب حاجه، هتيجي الليل بكره هتقع. لكن الليله اذا كان عندك اساس تمام قوي انت هتكون كويس جدا. شايف الرياضيين في العالم ده شايفهم جايين تعبانين كده؟ انت بتشوفني انا زي هسه زي تعبان ده، انا كنت زمان فت تمام. ها انا كنت بقعد 6 شهور 7 شهور في دول برا فور كامبينج. وفي كان دول كان بيساعدنا برضه. السودان كان برضه شويه تعبان لكن كانوا بيساعدونا دول تاني. لأنه ممكن إذا كان الدولة بتاعتنا المفروض هو يكون أساس أنه يساعد اللاعبين عشان ما هو ماشي. يوم أنا من أقف أنا كم مرة أنا وقفت في عشان يقولوا لي الموسيقى بتاعت البلد بتاعي ويرفعوا العلم بتاعي. أنا رئيس بتاع الدولة، ما في زول بيرفعوا له علم بتاع السودان إلا الرياضي جاب الميدالية بتاعت الدولة. فلذلك الميدالية ما بيجي ساكت، بيجي بأنك تصرف على جناك ده لغاية ما يكون قوي ولقد ما هو يقدر يحارب. الرياضة فائدة كبير جدا. والرياضة قاعدة يلمنا كلنا. حسن الناس عندنا مشاكل بتاعنا عدم يعني ما في وحدة. الرياضة بوحد الناس. تلقى الفريق التيم مكون من كل قبائل ما من قبيلة واحد، تلقاهم كلهم بيحبوا بعض. واللاعبين تلقاهم من كل القبائل، ويعني إذا كان غلبوهم تلقاهم حزنانين. فلذلك بعد كده وحدة السودان بيجي جنوب السودان بيجي عن طريق الرياضة، وده حصل في العالم كله. الوحدة عن طريق الرياضة خلى الناس اسمهم يتوحدوا. أنا هسه حاليا عندي أصدقاء مثلا في العالم من قبل 50 سنة أنا راح لقيتهم في أيام الأخيرة دي يعني يحبوني جدا. هم رياضيين من دول ثانية لكن لأنه كانوا رياضيين. أنا هنا جنوب السودان ده الرياضة ده يخليهم كلهم واحد، كلهم يتكلموا بلغة واحدة، يتكلموا يعني يبنوا البلد بتاعتنا. فلذلك أساس الرياضة الإمكانيات. إذا ما عندك إمكانيات ما فيش فعلا.
شكرا. I'm sorry to the show is very interesting, so I wish we had enough time, but because of time, I want to ask this specific question to you. And in terms of age, you are old, and you still love sport. And in our traditions, most of us are South Sudanese. An old person like you who is having a gray hair is being respected the most, because reaching a level of you having a gray hair is not easy. And in sport, I'm trying to talk about discipline. You know, if you reach the ages of like your age, meaning you have been disciplined to your parent, you have been disciplined to other people. Now, what is your advice to some sportsmen and women who are indisciplined, so that they can be disciplined to continue practicing what they are doing until they reach your age?
حقيقة كبير الأستاذ دكتور توم ذكر أنه في كل مدرسة لازم يكون فوقه أستاذ بتاع الرياضة. أستاذ بتاع الرياضة كان أنت فعلا في النظام بتاعنا القديم ده كل من جرس الدقو ده كل الناس بيجيبوا في الصف. صفا انتباه كده. أخش الفصل ما في ده النظام احترام للأستاذ. تقدم انت بتتعلم النظام ده الديسيبلين ده مين انت صغير. اذا انت ما تعلمت انت صغير ما بيش. عندنا في الرياضه برضه اي انسان اذا كان ضرب اخوه هيقول له يا اخي ام سوري حارك كان غلبه يقول حارك قلت لك حاجه زي كده. ده احنا بندي. ففي عندنا قوانين. الزول ما يتبع القانون بتاع الرياضه اذا انا الاسم هو قاضي هو في اللعب يقول لا ده اديناك اسمنا واحد.
Thank you. شكرا أستاذ. Thank you so much. Dr. Tong, your last message to the sport lovers in the country in 1 minute.
To all the sport lovers, what we need you to come to the sport, because the sport is the unifying factor. Will bring all South Sudanese together. Will let us build our country. The sport is a good bridge. Is a one promoting peace and stability. Thank you.
Ustaz, kalma akhira للsportmen and sportwomen in the country.
يا سلام. انت عارف داير اقول لك كلمه اخيره دي. زمان المراه ايام الدورات الاولمبيه زمان قبل 3000 سنه قبل الميلاد ما في مره بمشي بشوف رياضه. كان ممنوع. ده في ان يوروب الكلام ده. لكن بمرور الزمن المراه بقى خلوها تتفرج في الاستاديوم. بعد شويه المراه خلوها هنا ذات تكون عندها النادي بتاعها. المراه بقى عنده تلعب رياضه مره لغايه ما بقت وين تمشي الاولمبياد. دي كان حاجة كويسة جدا. وأنا دار المرأة الجنوبية الآن، اليوم الجنوبية الآن حيكون يوم من الأيام إنه أبطال. أنا بعرف يعني كان عندنا أبطال من البنات وكده. فثانيا الشيء الأخير اللي بيقول زي أنا ما قلت قبل، ما في وحدة جنوب السودان إلا عن طريق الرياضة، ما في محبة إلا عن طريق الرياضة. زي ما نحن ولا هسه في ناس بيعرفونا، الناس مشيت ناس كبار قبل أنا درسهم كان زمان وسلموا عليه شريف. ده المحبة بتاع الرياضة، ده تقدير يعني الرياضة بتلك الناس اسمه أنا فلذلك أنا كان
أنا بعرف teachers they talk. Thank you so much. And to the viewers of SLBC, thank you so much for following the sport programs on SLBC. This week we have been talking about the achievements and plan of South Sudan National Olympic Committee, and my guests were Ustaz Marjan Gismala Marjan, Vice President of South Sudan National Olympic Committee, and Dr. Tong Chor Malek, Secretary General, South Sudan National Olympic Committee. My guests, once again, allow me to say I'm profoundly honored and exceedingly humble having this opportunity to host you in the sport programs as we are ending the year 2020. I want to say to you, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And to the viewers, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more programs coming up right here. On behalf of the technician in the studio, we do say thank you so much for accompanying us. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.